You're going to press it?
Yeah, and you can do it too.
Okay, awesome.
All right, guys, I'm gonna, if you can just unmute yourself just so there's no background noise. But anyways, okay, so hi everybody. This is Brittany Larson who's gonna be talking to us, and she, long story short, she was one of my very first coaches back in 2012 when I was first a coach. And she just has so much heart and passion that I wanted her to talk to you guys because she's had such an amazing journey, like overcoming self-doubt. And she, if you haven't preached her on social media, she is just so creative. She is just really inspiring with her words. She's a really good writer. She has so many strengths where I have weaknesses. So I totally look up to her in that way. So she's just going to come at you with her heart. I don't even really know exactly what she's going to talk about. I just know it's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and just let you take the stage a bit.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you so much. I'm going to just share my screen here. One moment. Let's see if I know how to do this. Share screen. Yes, there we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to see if you guys... Oh, you want that? Actually.
Let me know if you need help, Britt.
Okay, perfect. I'll just have you make sure that you can see the presentation here. Can you see this at all? Can you hear me?
Did you do screen share and then desktop?
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Okay, do you see that?
Yep.
Perfect. Oh, actually, I'll see if I can even make it bigger.
Yeah, there you go.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay. I can't see the chat, you guys, so if any point, maybe Brooke, if you can, and you can interrupt me at any time.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Brooke, for the introduction and for, allowing me to host this team call. I am so excited. And for all of you who are watching right now or watching the replay, I really do think that this is going to benefit you and that there will be maybe some small nugget that you can take away and apply it to your business right away to set yourself up to finish the year strong, but also to carry that momentum into the brand new year, which is going to be huge. It's crazy to me that it's like almost October and like the 2019 will be here before you know it. It's going to happen. Okay. You guys still see this? So far, so good. I'm going to keep going, but if you can't, we'll make do.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, awesome. So as Brooke was saying, I became a coach. I was her first coach, gosh, way back in 2012, which is just crazy. So I've definitely had Beachbody in my life for a very, very long time. And it's been an amazing journey for sure. But as you can see, if you're, reading ahead, you can see that I quit. Both Brooke and I kind of quit back in 2012. At that time, I was just graduating with a journalism degree. And my whole mindset was, I need to get my dream job. What does that look like? And oh my gosh, I'm a brand new reporter and I'm broke and I have to pay for college now. And honestly, I unfortunately did not see the value or what I could even do with Beachbody at the time. So that's what's really cool about this, you guys. Like, regardless of, how you joined Brooke or whoever your coach may be on the Bod Squad, I just feel like there is no perfect getting started right? You just have to own your story. And that's why I'm being so transparent in the fact that I said, then I quit. I, again, did not see what this opportunity was at the time and just made the cancellation like maybe a month and a half after and went back to my 9-to-5 job, not feeling like I missed out on anything, but boy, was I wrong. After that, I kind of just sort of became a hobby, like stagnant coach. And it wasn't until, and this kind of is parallel. So with coaching and also my career in journalism, because I was so set on becoming a producer for a show called Twin Cities Live. And I say that because that was like something that I wanted to accomplish way back when I had my journalism degree. And it's something that I would always work so hard for. Like I got 5 internships in college, and I was always a hard worker. I wasn't afraid of hard work, but that was always like my vision. My vision, when my dream job was Twin Cities Live. And maybe you're familiar with this lifestyle show that's in the Twin Cities, and if not, that's totally okay. But just to kind of give you some clarification, you kind of have to work your way up to that, that level, this market. So that meant I had to start in a very small newsroom in Mankato, and then I went to Sioux Falls and was a morning reporter in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And finally, in November of 2016, I was able to come home back to the Twin Cities and be with my now fiance, Joel, who you just met earlier. We're getting married next May of 2019. And I got the job of what I thought was my dreams. And again, I am so grateful for that job. But what's so interesting to me is that sometimes when you kind of, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I say that with, I don't want you to think I don't like my job, but I just feel like it's so interesting to me because it's something that I worked super hard for. And then when I got it, I kind of felt like, man, well, what else is out there? Like I really do feel, especially if you're on this call or listening to the recording, that we believe that we were made for more, that we believe that, we want or looking for more purpose in our lives. And that's how I knew coaching is totally basically right up my alley. And that's when I went to Brooke back in April, as you see there in 2017. After I just started my dream job, I was just a couple months in, and I realized the true potential and what this could create because Brooke was proof of it. She was consistent from the beginning, and she was able to leave her full-time job and be a stay-at-home mom. And now that's something that I'm really considering. Like, what would that look like if I got to stay at home with my future kids and yet still contribute to our household and still make an income? Like, what would that mean for our family and being present in their lives? And that's when, that became my dream job. So it's amazing. Like I am an example that your why can change. You could start in this business and just say, I love my job, which is amazing. That's wonderful. Or you may think that, you would want to make this a full-time income, and that's great too. There is no right or wrong answer. So I wanted to tell you this, kind of shifting from my story and going more into the content of this call. What's so interesting about me is like I say that I have my PhD in coaching because I am obsessed with learning almost to a fault. And what I mean by that is like if there's a team call, I've watched it. If there's all the calls in the Beachbody Champs page, I've seen it. Like I'm someone who, and I share this with you because I want you to learn from my mistakes, because there was a point where that was almost becoming too much, where I was sort of, I was working my business, but the biggest mistake I made, you guys, is that I wasn't implementing. So I would spend all this time, searching for videos, learning, and again, earning my PhD in coaching, but I had nothing to show for it because all I was doing was just learning, but not implementing. So if you're a brand new coach, you do not have to do that. You do not have to spend hours and hours in training calls. The biggest thing that I can recommend is just go out there, share your story authentically, have energy and passion, and just start inviting. We already know, there's not going to be any training call that will give you the secret sauce, which is something that we're all sometimes maybe trying to find. But as Brooke has said it over and over again, there is no secret sauce. The secret sauce is the vital behaviors and consistency. Boom. Mic drop, right? Okay, here we go. All right, 1 second, water break. Okay, so there are 3 types of coaches. And also, if I have any spelling errors, I'm going to just say sorry in advance because I made this kind of quickly. But there are 3 types of coaches in this business, and guess what? I have been all 3 of these types of coaches. The first one, this is the coach that says, that the must be nice coach. They're the type of coach that if that sounds familiar to you, you're going to have to change your mindset. The must be nice coach is basically not taking ownership in your business. They're looking at someone else, they're putting up other coaches on a pedestal, and they're looking at them thinking that they can't achieve that similar success. We all have coach crushes, right? If you haven't been in this business long enough, then that's okay. But we all have someone that we look up to, and sometimes we feel like we can't achieve their success. We put them on a pedestal, and then the moment you start comparing yourself to that person, then you might be saying, yeah, that must be nice that they, got Success Club 100. I may never be able to do that. Honestly, this is your sign to snap out of that right now. Maybe you've never done that before, and that's great. And if you have, it's okay. Give yourself some grace and then get back into action. The other type of coach, I've been this too. The cheerleader coach, the one that is so passionate and excited for everyone but yourself. And that's not going to build your business, you guys. You have to be the biggest cheerleader for your own business. It's great to support them. It's great to support your peers. But again, all of that enthusiasm means nothing if you're not taking action. The third type of coach, the one who takes ownership over their business, the one who is consistent with the vital behaviors, and the one who is also a cheerleader. Like, you can have both, but you have to be an action taker. So again, make sure, I can't hone in on this enough, to get out of the mindset that it must be nice for other people to achieve the success. Because I always thought this. In the beginning, I always thought that you had to be a mom to be successful. You had to be a fur mom to be successful. There was like this it coach, and that's completely false. There is no it coach. This business, thank goodness, does not discriminate. Anyone can be successful in this business if you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to have a heart for helping others and paying it forward, and if you're willing to just really be self-aware in where you're at in these types of coaches. And again, it's okay if you've been at all three of them, but stick to the last one, okay? This is the time of year when you should not take your foot off the gas, okay? You need to push yourself, you guys, to do more. And it's so funny to me because I feel like this time, naturally we think, oh, people are super busy. Who's going to want to join after Thanksgiving? Because then they're going to have your Christmas list. And, it's just a really inconvenient time. Honestly, all you're doing that's not going to set yourself up for success in Q4, right? This is the time of year, if you could just get out of your own way and do more than you think that you ever thought possible, and do more to get out of your comfort zone, you will be amazed at what you'll be able to accomplish, not only in Q4, but to set yourself up for success in January when everyone wants to join you because of New Year's resolution goals. And honestly, Brooke and probably several other coaches on this call, or if you're watching a replay, have Brooke joined in December. And so that just goes to prove to you that you can find some of your rock star coaches this time of year. And so don't make that an excuse, okay? Everyone have a sip of water, okay? Hydrate. Okay. Let's see. I am obsessed with this, okay? So I have a full-time job. I'm not a mom, so all you mamas out there, you're 1,000% busier than me. But I do have a very demanding job that requires a lot of my time, and obviously, I'm in an amazing relationship, and so I have a lot of buckets I need to get to, okay? So the reason why I love this quote, busy is not a badge of honor, is because I think our society kind of plays up the word busy and kind of like, if you're not busy, then you're lazy. And that's so false. Like, how often do you talk to someone and they're kind of like, oh, I'm busy, I'm hanging in there. And I'm totally guilty of this too. But it's just like, maybe just kind of just change your mindset a little bit. And this is something that helped me, because I would have so many excuses why I wouldn't be able to work my business, because I was busy. But honestly, here's what you need to do. If you ever depending on what excuse you may have, it's your fitness goals or your business goals, if you were to just kind of shift it and say, rather than come up with an excuse like I'm too tired to work my business, shift it and say, my business is not my priority. Whoa, right? Doesn't that sting? Like, doesn't that make you feel like crap? No, it really is my priority. Like, I have to go and send 10 invites right now. Or if you were to say, like, I'm going to skip this workout because I just like don't feel like it. Well, that's so horrible, right? If you say my fitness or my self-care, my self-worth is not my priority, how does that make you feel? So really, I just encourage you to kind of just slow down and not wear the busy badge of honor. If you're a mom, I totally get it. Oh my gosh, you guys are rock stars. I don't know how you do it. But that is something that has really helped me when it comes to just shifting your mindset. Can you guys still see this? Oh, perfect. Can we mute everyone? I see you. Okay, urgency. So this is sort of what I wanted to focus on, because when you have urgency, this is going to be a shift in your business that you're going to want to not only take through Q4, but all the time. Why is urgency important? Okay, so this is my favorite analogy. Does everyone want to just quick mute themselves just so we don't have any distractions? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so why is urgency important? This is primarily for a lot of the newer coaches, but think of your business like an escalator that's moving down, all right? So you have all of the momentum that's pushing you down, and you're at the bottom. And guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to climb up it. So if you get up to the first, second stair without any urgency, immediately what's going to happen is it's going to push you right down. And just so you guys know, like, this business is hard. Let's just acknowledge that. Like, it is hard. But I think it's one of those things you get to choose your hard, and also just realize like that it's okay, but you have to really think about like what you're focusing on, and knowing that in the beginning it's going to take some time to create that momentum. Then you can kind of set yourself up for success, because if you're urgent with your goals, think of like a child, like, right? If you can picture like a little kid who has tons of energy, tons of enthusiasm, tons of passion, and if you tell them, okay, Timmy, you're going to get $5 if you go up to the top of the escalator and it's coming down, you better believe he's going to run up like none other, and he's going to be there in no time. But for us, I feel like we use our fear, self-doubt, inconsistency that pushes us down the escalator. And if our goals aren't urgent, we're just going to stay there. And honestly, you guys, I was probably at the bottom step maybe a year of my business, until I finally saw the light and said, okay, so if I'm urgent with my goals, I'm consistent with my goals, I can eventually get to the top. And that's when you're going to finally see the momentum working for you and not against you. Okay, so the whole point of urgency is to set a goal big enough so you show up every single day, so that 3 to 6 months from now, you have what you want, or at least you're getting close to what you want. This is how you can set yourself up for success. Because this business, there's a delay to this business. So what you put in now is what you will reap 3 to 6 months from now. And unfortunately, people are not either consistent enough or they're not patient enough to reap that benefit. But if you just put your blinders on, you're focused, you're urgent with your goals, then you will be able to reap that reward. Okay, this is so good. And maybe you've heard this concept before, but I think sometimes if we hear it, 5 to 6 times, it really sinks in. So hopefully this isn't too repetitive, because I just learned this on another call. But most of us are setting goals too small. And What I mean by that is that if your goals are not going to stretch you, you're going to kind of just feel, I don't know if you're necessarily going to feel excited. Like, think about it this way. If you made Success Club 5 your monthly goal, which is obviously incredible, that's awesome. Like, it's so good to help other people. But is that really stretching you? Does that scare you? And if it doesn't scare you, you've heard this before. It really, if your goals aren't urgent and big, they're boring. And it's just like, is that going to make you kind of stay consistent with your goals? Is that going to make you want to get out of bed and, send those invites out knowing that you have all month to hit Success Club 5, that goal? Oopsies. Oh, thanks guys. I'm getting the love. I really appreciate it. Okay. Whoopsies. Can you still see everything?
No. Nope. Go back to the desktop screen share. Did it freeze? Oh no! Her face is frozen. Is it frozen for anybody else or is it just me? Frozen? Okay.
I don't even see it anymore.
Oh no!
I'm back. I'm so sorry.
Hey Britt, no, that's okay. So click on your PowerPoint again. Do you see it?
Let's see. Are we good?
There, now I see your face. Click on, I don't see anything. Do you guys see anything like the PowerPoints?
No.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen. Share screen. I'm almost done too. Hopefully it'll let me finish. Is it frozen?
It's on the Zoom meeting screen.
Okay, 1 second.
Your Mac is sensitive. It's like,
man.
It just went haywire.
That's so weird. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you guys.
No, seriously, that's fine. This stuff happens. Are you able to remember?
I'm going to come back, okay, in 2 seconds.
You're good. And if you can remember what the last of the slides say, too, you can always do that. Weird, it's still showing her face is frozen. What questions do you guys have for Britt? Let's use this time to go in the chat thread and just type up anything that really sticks out to you. Or like anything that's really, I don't know, something that she said that resonates with you. Something that resonates with me is like the Success Club, like what she was talking about. A bunch of my coaches have said this before, that like Success Club 5 and 10 should not be a monthly goal. Like that's mainly for hobby coaches. That's mainly for people who don't want to make this a income producing machine.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Hi, Britt.
So, hi. So now just quick, it was just frozen for a second. So I'll go to desktop.
Yeah, Ashley, I agree.
Now can you see?
Yep.
Yes, great.
Yay!
Oh gosh. Well, lovely intermission.
Girl, it happens. Technology sucks.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hopefully, are we still recording?
Yes. Yeah, we are.
Cool.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So awesome. Should I keep going?
Go for it. I'm gonna mute myself.
Almost done. Okay, sounds lovely. But yeah, as you guys were just chatting, thank you guys so much for being patient. I'm almost done here, but I want your goals to start making you feel excited. You know, I was sort of in a slump too where, you know, I just kind of felt, oh gosh, my mindset was just crap. And you just really have to have that self-awareness, like where you're at, and are you reading your personal development? Are you, you know, being consistent with the vitals? And then it should be fun. Like make sure that you bring the fun back into this business and not be so robotic. Like, yes, we have lots going on in our life outside of coaching, but really, if you go back to like, what are we doing? We are serving other people. We're trying to find the other yous of the world who are going to feel so passionate, just like you do with your own business. And not that Success Club 5 is a bad goal. It's not about bad, but it's just like, what are goals that are going to stretch you? And write it down. Like, write it down right now. Like, something that makes you nervous. Like, oh, like if I could, bring 5 more coaches on my team and hit Success Club 20. And I want to be clear, it's not all about the numbers. You have to remember that these are lives. 10 lives changed. Like, that's incredible, you guys. And so that is something that I want you to do from now on, from every month. Like, how can you, it's you versus you, right? Like, how can you beat your best? Isn't that cool that Beachbody started that? How can you beat your best and make your goals even bigger than you ever imagined? Okay, this is maybe where you want to maybe take a couple notes if you're a note taker. The reason why urgency is important is because it creates focus. So setting bigger goals does not demand more of your time. It just demands more of your focus. And when you have a goal worth chasing, so we go back to maybe SC or what maybe I'm like using rank goals, but just like what you want to create with this business. You should have your why out in front of you every single day. And you should be looking at the vision you want to create every single day. And knowing that it's possible. This coolest thing about coaching that has, changed my life is just really having more belief. And Brooke said it earlier, like, I was full of doubt. I was full of like insecurities in the beginning because I didn't think I could do what she has done, but she's proof. So use it as momentum. Like, the people that you look up to in this business have paved the way and have proved that through consistency, the vital behaviors, having huge goals that stretch them, that anything is possible. And it forces you to learn and grow until you get it right. This is a failing forward business. It's not, I'm going to learn everything and see if I get it right. I did that and it didn't get me very far. I tried to be perfect and it didn't get me very far. It's about consistently showing up, sharing your story, all these things that you know, but I want this to light a fire in you. I want you to dream bigger. And what I meant to say before we got cut off is that in the bod squad, what is so cool is that Brooke posts these just kind of like a check mark where we're at, like cheering for the girls who are holding diamond ranks so we can become an elite 8-star team. Like, Brooke can have that. But what I want you to also realize is the credibility of being an elite superstar diamond team. Of course, for someone who's not in the coaching world, that probably sounds like Chinese, but at the same time, like, that's really, really awesome to be a part of. And it's a we thing. It's a team. It's a team effort. Brooke could not do that on her own. So that's something to create urgent goals in itself, like to really finish this year strong and to do it all together. Because again, when you go and you talk to other coaches, you can say that I'm a part of a top 50 team, and we just became elite, which is like a very tippy top of the business. So we definitely know what we're doing, and we can support you with your goals. So urgency breeds creativity. How many times have you thought about, I should really post something, but nothing comes? If you are urgent, I always feel it's funny to me, I'm all about deadline, but if I have all day for that deadline, I'm going to take all day. If I have 25 minutes to achieve that deadline, I'm going to use the 25 minutes. So that's why it's so important. And Brooke and I talked about this on a call the other day, is that you should set a timer. When you go into your power hour and your business hour, really be intentional with that. Don't just sit and scroll, send a message, sit and scroll, send a message. Guess what? I've done that too. Didn't get me very far. But if you're very intentional with your business hours and you give it the focus that it deserves, you will see a shift in your business. You will feel more productive. You will feel more creative because you're honoring that time and you're giving it the time that it deserves, and you're being intentional. So it's definitely important to be organized and have those business hours, and to not just sort of wing it. Because I love the quote, if you throw spaghetti at the wall to see if it sticks, like, it's just like, it just doesn't work, right? You want to be intentional. Okay, you have to think about, how could I get more results in the time I have? So if you only have 30 minutes, then you better send out those invites, eat that frog, do the things that you don't want to do first. Again, you guys, you've heard this already, but hopefully you're just going to catch on to this passion of like making those urgent goals. Okay, and instead of saying, I can't blank, say, how could I do that? In that simple shift, you're changing your mindset to, it's impossible, I could never do that, to like, well, how could I be a 15-star diamond team? What do I have to do? How could I reach my Success Club goal and get Success Club 50 this month? How could I? How could I? Not, I can't, right? The universal law, what you seek, you will find. What you focus on gets bigger. You know, it was so funny. I caught myself when I was thinking, you know, about all the no's, like sending out maybe 60 invites, getting a lot of rejection or a lot of no's, or, you know, people that ghost you. That's going to happen. That's just a part of the business. But when you find that rock star, when you find someone who you can change their life, it's totally worth it. And so if you start focusing on not the no's, but just like, again, planting seeds. And if you ever feel like you're getting discouraged, I want you to just take a pause. And this is something I want you to write down. Okay, are you ready? How long did it take you before you said yes? How many follow-ups did Brooke have to do month after month before you finally said, okay, I'll give this a shot? If you like jumped in right away, girlfriend, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But if it took you a while to trust, to really understand, and to finally take action and say yes to the opportunity, why do we expect people to say yes to us right away when it maybe took, you know, 3 or 4 months to even a year to say yes to Brooke or whoever coach is on your team? So you have to think about that. You could decide what you will find in life by setting the course with your thoughts and your actions and your words. And that's why it's so important to really develop that morning routine, whatever your kind of your ritual looks like, to make sure that you're getting in your PD and making that a non-negotiable. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes at work or just certain other people in your life, if they're a little bit negative, that can bring you down. So you really have to learn about, what you're focusing on. Last one, urgency demands ownership. I love this one, okay? Urgency demands ownership. Kind of like what we talked about, like the 3 different types of coaches. If you're a must be nice coach, you're not taking ownership of your business. You don't, you guys, it's not about complaining about the Facebook algorithm or Instagram or the likes or, no one's seeing my posts. Like, if you just take ownership over your business, you don't have time, right, to worry about the things that you can't control. I have caught myself saying this, and it's so funny. I can look back and just kind of giggle, because I remember asking Brooke, well, I can't make my coaches emerald. Oh my gosh. But here's the thing. I can talk to more people. I can have the passion of what this business has done for me and send out 20 invites, and that passion and that energy is attractive. And it may sound silly, but again, like, if you're just like showing up every single day, excited about your business, that will come. It really is in your control, okay, you guys? Because you can control however many people that you talk to. And rather than wait, like a diamond, these types of ranks, they really are a decision. And having the belief, the vision, the ownership, and urgent goals are going to get you there. You just have to believe it. Okay. The only thing that you can control is your energy, right? And how you show up with how many people you talk to. Whoopsies, typo. But you get what I'm saying. Okay, kind of wrapping up here. Urgency is all about forcing you to show up now. Consistency creates momentum, but if your goal isn't big enough, you don't have to be consistent. For example, let's say your goal was maybe to lose 1 pound in a month. Do you think you would go on the treadmill and or do your workouts every single day and eat super clean? There's nothing wrong with losing a pound. That's amazing. Good job, good for you. But I'm just saying, when we set goals too small, there's no urgency to start, to take action, or really excitement. If you set goals that stretch you, that are excited, that make you want to jump out of the bed because you have a little time to set out your invites, you're going to make it happen. You are constantly reaping the harvest of the seed you planted 3 to 6 months ago. Man, that helped me so much because it's really easy to get discouraged in this business. You remember, it's like an escalator, right? It's constantly pushing you down. But if you just expect that, if you race up that escalator and know that all of your hard work will pay off if you don't quit, you show up every single day, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the no's, it's going to pay off. And if you do this now, think about how far along you'll be in January. All of those no's will come back to you because you're going to be consistent, you're showing up in your business, you're still excited as ever, and you're going to be ready for them. If we don't have enough urgency to be consistent or a big enough why, you might not stick with it long enough to ever see the harvest of the seed that you sow. That's why I think it's so important that you have to have your why in front of you every single day. I didn't really, to be honest, I'm yeah, it's in my notebook. It's all good. I know it. I could tell you. But your why always changes. And life is so busy and hectic. And if it's something that you're not intentional, if you're not reading your affirmations, if you're not doing PD every day, and if you're not looking at your why, what's going to motivate you to really show up? Because for me, I got in this cycle of will I really be successful? And I started to question myself. So if you feel oh man, if you're starting to doubt yourself, I want you to try to immediately just slow down, really get curious. I don't want you to feel guilty. We all have self-doubt, but just really get curious. Well, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling these limiting beliefs? And if you get curious and really kind of dig deep into figure and kind of, it's like an onion, peel back the layers, then you can kind of say, oh, well, it's because of X, Y, Z. And you basically can take that personal development and really implement it. Okay. Your goals have to be a compelling vision. It has to be something that is going to pull you and not something that you're going to have to push yourself to do. There's a big difference there, right? And that's why it's just it's really important to take the time to do it. If your vision isn't going to pull you, if it's not big enough, if you're yeah, there is no wrong goal. I want to be clear, but if you said to Brooke or your coach on this call that I really want to make, $50 a month, that's great. If that's seriously what you want, and if that's going to pull you to show up every single day. But does that really make you excited? Dream big. I can't say that enough. If you want to match your full-time income, it's not even about income, really. If there's a certain rank, if there's a certain amount of people you want to help, you have to set those numbers high so it pulls you and you're not going to have to push yourself. Again, we are always reaping what we are sowing or not sowing. And look at your why every single day and always be adding pebbles to your pile. And the reason for that, and I have an example for this too, don't you worry, but the reason why you want to keep adding pebbles to your pile is because if you keep doing that, if you have your blinders on, and if you keep adding and adding, eventually it's going to grow into this incredible mound that you won't even believe. Okay, this is my last like drop the mic moment. I am excited to share just another little analogy. Okay. So I heard this on a call. I didn't steal. So I'm basically like going to try to like share this story as well, because it gave me chills. But imagine you and your significant other, you're going on a date night. And if you have kids, or if you don't have kids, if you have puppies, they're home. Okay. So you go on your date night, you're coming back, and you see smoke. And you think, oh my gosh, what's going on at the neighbor's house? And then you realize, okay, it's coming from your street, it's coming from the corner, and you realize it's your house. And you drive, like immediately you see that your house is on fire. And so what you do is you drive over the curb, you like get to your driveway, you scramble in because your loved ones are inside. You stop at nothing, right? For whatever reason, you dropped your keys along the way. And so you know, loved ones inside, house is burning down, you are going to make it in to this house, no matter what. You pound the door and you get inside and you save your loved ones, okay? So the problem is that, let's just say that your house is fine, okay? And you misplaced your keys, but your house is fine. So how I'm going to share this with you, okay? So basically, you're in your driveway and you're waiting for the locksmith, okay, to unlock your door. But if you were all on this call, I think, and if you're listening to this recording, then I feel like you know in your heart that you were made for more, and that there is something that this business offers you that you want more of. And the problem is, you guys, is there's a reason why you signed up to be a coach. Whether it was to pay off your debt, to, you know, find a community that you love, that to feel supported. But all of those things that are maybe pain points in your life that you don't realize is that our house is burning down if we don't take action right now. And the majority of us are in our cars waiting for the locksmith to show up, playing on word swag and calling it a business. So you have to be so self-aware and really make sure that your actions and your goals are aligned, because there's no wrong goal. But if you're saying that you want a full-time income with coaching, but you're not willing to make the sacrifices now, then you're just sort of going to set yourself up for failure. And when I heard this analogy about the house burning down, and that, you know, we signed up for reasons, whether we're drowning in debt, we're working in a job that's sucking your soul, or basically you come home and you're exhausted every single day. The problem is that if you're not going to take ownership or have that urgency to knock that door down and not wait for the locksmith, right? We don't need someone else to save the day. As much as that, how great would that be? Someone like to build our business for us. You have to knock that door down. And it's not like a house. It's going to take time. It's going to take so much effort to get in. But once you have achieved the goals that you've achieved, it's going to be totally worth it. Oh, there you go.
Britt, that was awesome.
Yay!
I'm such an analogies nerd. I love that stuff.
Me too.
It just really dumbs it down and simplifies everything, at least for me.
Absolutely. So. I heard, so Josh Coates talked about that house burning down. He's like, we're all looking for someone to save the day, but really we have the keys in our hand. So you just have to take ownership.
Yep. Let's see the chat thread here. Great analogy. What questions do you guys have? You can either, I'd actually like if you guys just unmuted yourself and asked Britt questions. You can literally ask her anything. So just unmute yourself if you can.
Yeah. That went kind of long. I'm sorry.
No, well, it doesn't help the technology, you know, like damn technology. while people like type up their questions or unmute themselves, I loved you constantly reiterating that this is a delayed gratification business. Like that really stuck out to me, and that always has stuck out to me since day one. Just people quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Like they quit before they even get the chance to reap the reward of what the hard work that they put in. So they just did all that hard work for nothing. And I had a brand new coach quit on me about 5 days ago, and she gave this business a month. And yeah, and I said, girlfriend, you gave this business a hot second. And she goes, actually, I gave it a month. I died. You guys, I died. I'm like, oh my God, did I really suck at like making this apparent of how this business works? But yeah, I laughed. I died laughing. So
funny. Yeah, that's why I think it's just being really self-aware and being honest. Like, it's okay that this is hard, you know, we're all in it together, but like, and that's why I think, you know, creating those urgent goals and being consistent and just not letting that get you down, and repeating over and over again that it's a delayed gratification, because it's such an instant gratification world that if you don't quit, right, that's how you fail. If you don't quit, if you quit, then you fail, obviously. But if you fail forward and just put in the work now to reap those benefits 3 to 6 months from now, it just makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Britt, I have a question. Okay, so I was totally the same way when I first started. I didn't have really any big dreams, big goals, and so I didn't put my 2 feet in. I maybe dipped my toes in for like a while. And so my real question is like, Brooke pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to dream bigger, dream bigger, and dream bigger. And I'm sure she did the same for you. And so my question is, what hit you that you made this some big goal that you're like, all right, I'm all in? Like, what was it?
Well, what was the goal that kind of made me, you know,
go all in?
Man, that's a great question. I think it was dissatisfaction of what my normal was, which was my 9 to 5, a level of income that I'm at, and just knowing that I have so much potential inside me, but I wasn't really doing anything with it. So I think the biggest goal is just like, can I really match my full-time income? Can I really make more? That blew my mind. And as I saw Brooke, how she was able to leave, and even you, Danielle, to leave their full-time job to be fully supported and not trade hours for dollars, is when the light bulb went on. It's like, it really made me feel like, oh my gosh, like this can create so much financial freedom, like, and time freedom. So that gives me chills. And because I've always, and I don't know if anyone can relate on this call, have been on an income cap, regardless of how hard I worked. It didn't matter. And it would always be a 2% raise, which just kind of ate me up inside, because it's like, it's beyond just money, right? And beyond just financial stuff, but it's just like, that's something that really made the shift in me when I felt like I could surpass my full-time job income in maybe one day, my big goal to even double it and go from there. And as you see, like how people's income progression, you know, income disclaimer, it's all about your effort and diligence and the lives that you change. But it's just like, it's incredible how that ripple effect, in how it just keeps growing and growing. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
That's a good question. Thank you for asking that, because I should revisit some of my big goals for sure. Hear me. I love that.
What other questions do you guys have?
Oh, I have a homework assignment.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so just for accountability, I want you to set a scary goal, and it can be even in the bod squad, or we can make another like it could be underneath, I guess, that call. Would that work, Brooke? And just write out the scariest goal, right? We all have them. What's your scariest goal and what's your deadline, right? I mean, this is something that we all know, but it's like, then that way we can kind of all come together and support each other and cheer each other on. And then it's written, right? Like, it's not just you who, maybe you told your significant other, like you told the whole entire team your scariest goal, and you set a deadline. So I want us to all do that.
That sounds so fun, and I'm doing it.
Yay!
I cannot wait. Because, yeah, that's extra accountability and pressure. So.
And also set a deadline.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing that really stuck out to me, Britt, that I loved, that I wrote down was, where to go? Just the whole, like, you have more people to talk to. Yeah. You don't just, like, expect your people to do things. You can only make people do so much. You can't make people do anything. You can't motivate anybody. Yes, of course, you guys see me, like, bringing out the inner badass in you guys, but like, that's ultimately your decision. Like, I can supply the words, but if you're not going to like make the decision to be like, yeah, she's right, I'm going to do this, then I can't make that decision for you guys. So that's what I just say. Like, that's why I just focus on talking to so many people, new people, and just never banking on anything ever happening. And you have to think like that. So I love that quote. It just focuses on the abundance mindset, and it gets people to stop thinking that their discount coaches are going to turn active, and that business builder that said that they were going to build their business is actually going to do something when really they're not. Like, it just stops us from getting fooled by people. And there's just so many people out there that want our help, and it's ironically those new people that need and want the help that is going to motivate those people who are stagnant. And
totally.
So love that.
I think anytime, and it goes back to like, taking ownership, and also just, I say this with love because I've been there. If you're feeling stuck, I've been there. If you're feeling stagnant, and all it does is it takes a decision. It just takes you making the decision to show up from here on out, drawing a line in the sand and making that choice. And if you're waiting for people, like the moment you feel like you're waiting, what's going to happen on that escalator? It's going to push you down. Like, you're going to always have to put pebbles in your pile so somehow you can get up to the next step, and you can get up to the next step. And as you continue to take action, you won't feel that force. Like, after a while, Brooke, it feels different. When you first start this business, you're right at the bottom, right? So you're back to square one. And all I can say, and I forgot to add this, is starting and stopping this business is harder than being consistent with the vital behaviors. Starting and stopping is so discouraging, and you will never gain momentum. You lose trust from the people who are watching you. So whatever you do, just stay consistent. Just, even if it's the bare minimum, even if you have to walk one day and then you can run tomorrow, keep going.
Yes. Love that. All right, guys, anything else for Britt?
Yeah, Britt, can you scroll back up to that black?
Yeah.
And then, can I take a picture? And then, it was so good, but you scrolled by it so fast I couldn't take a picture. And it was like,
is it this one?
I need that for my Insta stories. All right, thanks, girl. Amazing call.
Yay, thank you. I'm going to take a picture too.
I know, I was like, how do I get this on, so I can see everybody? I don't remember.
Oh, I know. I don't know. I have to stop sharing screen. Whoopsies.
But seriously, Britt, thank you so much.
Yes.
You just, hey, it's like, there's her face. But you just inspire me every single day. You have been right alongside me since day one, and you just inspire me because you just keep going. And we all encounter roadblocks, and you've had your own roadblocks, and you just don't let it get you down. You inspire me as, like, you just have this huge vision. You got your vision board down. You know exactly what you want, and you are doing amazing in this time in internship that we are doing together, and you are becoming more action oriented, and I can totally see that. So I just want to give you a shout out with that.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, Britt.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
You're welcome.
Bye.